Hello, my name is Gitanjali Morjani. I am the Global EVP at Rangam Consultants, Inc. Rangam Consultants is a global, innovative, total talent management firm with the mission of accelerating meaningful employment for everyone. We are a minority woman owned, disability owned firm and have over 25 years of experience promoting sustainable and innovative talent programs within our communities and employers. I'm here today to share some information which I hope will be useful for the individuals attending this job fair. Slides. So, my agenda today is to get our job seekers noticed. What should their action plan be from the time they make a decision that they want to look for either a new opportunity or to pivot in their career? So, I just wanted to spend some time here and share some of my tips. Next slide. So, the way I'd like to start is break this whole presentation down in three main points: your resume, which is where you're making your first impression, your digital brand, which we'll talk about LinkedIn and how that can help, and then the most dreaded for many, the interview stage. And the aim is to bring it all together and make sure that you're fully prepared for this journey. Next slide, please. Next slide. So, we're going to talk about your resume being the first impression. Not sure how many of you know, but a recruiter spends approximately less than 6 seconds on a resume, sometimes less than 10 seconds on a resume. And the reason for this is because we get over 100 applicants for most of our open positions. So therefore, it becomes humanly impossible for an individual to go through each and every profile. There's another thing that happens. Many employers use something called an ATS. That's an applicant tracking system. So when a resume is submitted, the system goes through or skims through a resume to look for pertinent information. So, my advice would be that if you're looking to make your first impression with a recruiter or capture the attention of this ATS system, you may have to tweak your resume a little bit. One size fits all is not the answer here. So if you have one resume and you're just submitting it for every opening, you may not get the success that you're looking for, and it could lead to some frustration. So, my recommendation is to tweak your resume a little bit. Now, I don't mean go and build a brand new resume from scratch, but what I'm saying is look at the job description and rewrite some of the elements that pertain to what that employer is looking for so that your resume then stands out. When a recruiter reviews it, they can see that you have that relevant experience. I've provided a little bit of an example over here for a generic versus targeted, and I've tried to keep it simple. So instead of saying I assisted patient care in a hospital setting, try to use language like provided direct patient care in a high volume hospital setting, supporting 12 plus patients, shifting per shift, including vitals, mobility assistance, and electronic charting using Epic. So, what you just did here is made it very specific to the actual job, and now you have the attention of your recruiter, and you made it very relevant to this job. Next slide, please. Now here, as I mentioned, we want to make our resume skimmable. By writing long paragraphs and explaining things in detail sometimes can do you a disservice. So, keeping things clean, bullet points, and using action verbs will make it more presentable. It will capture their attention, and your story will be clear to the person reading that profile. Next slide, please. Now, the third tip that I wanted to share was don't just show what you've done, try to relate it to the results. When we or any hiring manager is looking at a profile, they don't just want to see what you've done, they want to see the impact that you've made. Um, so, I've provided two examples over here. Instead of just saying, for example, manage patient intake, we're trying to say the same thing, but we're saying that you streamline patient intake process, reducing wait time by 20%. Now, by mentioning that you reduced wait time by 20%, you are now showing the hiring manager or the recruiter that you can measure the effectiveness of what you have done. You are solving a problem that they are trying to solve. I hope this helps. Next slide, please. Now, some of us are starting out and our resumes may not be very long, but there may be some of us who are looking to pivot. The reason I brought this point here is to talk about relevancy is we during our entire career span we may have done a lot of different things, but not every recruiter or every hiring manager is interested to know each and everything you've done. What they're specifically looking for is what's relevant to me, what's relevant to them, what's relevant to their organization, and how are you solving that problem. So you should talk about whatever you've done, but keep the relevant items up top and continue with that theme to make sure that you're showcasing yourself as a person who's coming in, telling your story, and solving a problem. Um, Another tip that I wanted to share was soft skills. Many of us just assume that the person knows, but highlighting your soft skills, your transferable skills, your problem solving skills, or how you show empathy at work, how you communicate, and you're good with technology, these are small little things that speak volumes. It is important for the person reviewing it to understand that you will fit in their environment. If it is, say, a lab environment where you're a phlebotomist, for example, if you showcase that you were able to handle different patients and show empathy because many of them may be there because of an ailment and they're stressed, how you're handling it would really stand out for the recruiter or the hiring manager versus just not mentioning anything and assuming that the person in front knows. Next slide, please. Now, here I wanted to talk about your digital brand. By now, most people have a profile on LinkedIn. This is a very crucial place in today's market for individuals to showcase themselves and really stand out to the recruiter. So many times when you are sending your application over and you stand out because of what we read, you will find that a recruiter will take the next step and go and look at your LinkedIn profile. Next slide, please. So, as I mentioned, you got their attention, your resume is in front of them. Now, your LinkedIn profile is really what is going to make you stand out even more. So, the first thing, and you may have heard this before, but the first thing is a professional photo. There is study and there is data present to show that if a profile has a professional picture, there's 21 times extra chances that the recruiter or the hiring manager will go through your entire profile and would be interested to learn more about you. It is important to know that this has to be a professional picture because LinkedIn is specifically targeted for professional use. Next slide, please. Now, here, what I've tried to share is we talked about your LinkedIn picture, your profile picture, which is professional, welcoming, warm, which makes an individual feel comfortable to reach out to you. Now, the next is your About section, where you're providing a headline, short and crisp headline about who you are and what you're all about. And I've provided a link here. Please feel free to go and go through this article. You may find it useful. This helps the person understand what your focus area is and if they need to further go down in your profile and learn more. Next slide, please. Here on your profile, you're going to showcase your achievements and skills. This is very important. Many times people feel that I don't need to brag about myself, but this is your time to brag about yourself. I sometimes tell people that I'm mentoring always to have a brag book. Start making notes of things that you have done, your accomplishments, the small little things. These things count and they matter because when you're telling your story, you may not be able to remember everything that you've done, but you may be able to pull things, little nuggets from your brag book, and share with either the recruiter or with the hiring manager when you have their attention. So it's very important to highlight your achievements, your skills, and LinkedIn provides you with a very clean format. So it's easily absorbable by the person reviewing it. Next slide, please. Now, here I talk about building your network. It is crucial in this day and age that we build our network. You should, my recommendation, of course, is connect with your past coworkers, mentors, connect with recruiters. There are recruiters that are working directly for a particular organization that you are interested in, or there are a lot of recruiters that work at staffing companies who also have a way to get you into these large corporations if you're interested, small, mid to large size companies. So connect with people, build your network. If you have gone to a job fair in person, the people that you've met over there, I encourage you to go find them on LinkedIn, connect with them, stay connected with them, engage with them. And this also helps sometimes when you're interviewing at a particular organization and you're connected to other people. You can always reach out to them and tell them that you've applied for said position and you would love to get some pointers, and you'll be surprised people how helpful people can be. Next slide, please. Now you've done your resume, you've made it clean, you're telling your story, you have their attention, you have your digital presence. Now you get your interview request. This is your time to shine. Next slide, please. So, this, as I mentioned in the beginning, can be the most intimidating phase actually going through an interview. It could be a phone interview, it could be an in person interview, but the most important thing is the person meeting with you wants to like you. They want to be able to find the person who's right for the role, right for their organization, right cultural fit for them. So going in with the attitude that I have 100% opportunity to land this because I am putting my best foot forward is the most important thing you walk in prepared with. Next slide, please. So, here, my first tip is to know your story. Everyone likes to know who you are, what your story is, what you are professionally, how and what you've been doing, and why you're perfect for this role in this organization. So spend some time to build your elevator pitch. We call it an elevator pitch, like a 30 where you can get your story across to the interviewer, the recruiter, the hiring manager. Next slide, please. So here I try to break it down because I think everyone who may have interviewed has heard this one question: tell me about yourself. This is the opportunity for you to really grab their attention. They want to know your story, they want to know who you are, what you do, and why you. So I've broken this down and given you an example how you can construct your own story. Hopefully you can leverage this little formula, be specific and make sure it's aligned to the job. If you're interviewing for an assistant role, or you're interviewing, we use the example of a phlebotomist or a dental assistant, talking about your artwork but not relating it to the job will do you a disservice. So, really sit down, spend some time, try to assess who you are, what you do, what you bring to the table, and why should they consider you for this role. Next slide, please. Now, here, I am inviting you to think about using a methodology which we call the STAR framework. STAR framework stands for situation, task, action, and result. The theme continues, right? We're saying, what have you done? What were the responsibilities that you had? What are the actions you took? And what was the result at the end of it all? So, here, as a live example, we're giving you that a patient came in frustrated due to a billing error. So, here we're talking about the situation. You were handling the front desk. That's the task that you were doing. You calmly reviewed their records, explained the issue, coordinated and resolved their problem right then and there. That's showing them the action. Patient gave you a 5-star rating. That's the result. So when you break things down for an interviewer, and help them see this, you're again, I know I say this often, but you're solving their problem. And at the end, whoever is interviewing, they're looking to see, are you solving my problem and how are you doing it for me? Next slide, please. So here we're saying spell things out, be crystal clear, just as we gave an example earlier. You talk about your skills, the value you bring. You're talking about your passion, you're talking how you're going to do this. So you're giving real life, relatable examples, and you're showing them that you're going to be able to hit the ground running. Many times, if people are pivoting from one role to another, or if a veteran is coming and going into the regular workforce, or there's somebody coming off, say, FMLA and going back into the workforce. This is really very important for them to think about transferable skills, how they may have done certain things, and how can they showcase to the interviewer that they can actually do the job and accomplish what the job requires them to do. Next slide, please. Now, finally, what happens is at the end of every interview, the interviewer will ask, "Do you have any questions for me?" What I have seen is people do a lot of research, they get the information they need, and by the end of it, they kind of feel they know everything. But this is a place where your answer is always, "Yes, I have a question," or "I have a couple of questions." My recommendation is show interest in the role. These are some examples that you can use, but I always encourage people to sit, think a little bit about what this role may entail, and ask a little bit more specific questions. But here, one can ask, what does a typical day look like? How can this role help me grow? What is the growth trajectory in this organization? Or what type of individual would be successful here? Or even, what is a pain point that you have which you would want me to solve in 30, 60, or 90 days? By doing this, you're showing the interviewer your interest. Number one, you're showing them that you have a very structured way of thinking. You are focused on being successful in that role. And four, you are trying to align yourself both with the hiring manager, the organization, to make it a win win situation for all. Next slide, please. So here we just wrap things up. Again, just to tie it all together, very important. My recommendation is make an impactful LinkedIn profile for yourself. The world is on LinkedIn. You will have um, much more visibility on LinkedIn, even while you may be actively applying for certain roles. Passively, people are looking at your profile while you don't even know that they may be looking at it. Make sure that your resume is tailored for each job that you apply for. Just some tweaks here and there, not rebuilding your resume. Use clear, powerful language. Add outcomes. Always add numbers or the result, how you have made an impact, so that it appears measurable and the person in front is able to clearly understand what you bring to the table. Practice your interview answers using the STAR method, and prepare with some thoughtful questions. Never underestimate yourself. You are bringing a unique value to the organization you're applying for. Always go in positive. If you do not understand something, ask them to explain it further to you. Tell your story, and I think that's pretty much what you need to get done. Next slide, please. So, with all of this, I want to wish you good luck for your next opportunity. We will be sharing a lot of information about Rangam Consultants Inc. We are a staffing company. We are constantly sourcing for Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies. We do enterprise wide staffing. So if you're looking for an opportunity, you'd like to apply for different roles where you feel that you may not have had that same type of opportunity when directly applying for those roles with these companies, we can try to help you out. We also help with your resume. We make recommendations how you can update that. We will be providing you all that information on our booth. We welcome you there. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I hope you found this useful.